أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وأتباعه أجمعين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Assalamu alaikum to everyone who's able to join us this morning. We appreciate you guys able to come out. As you know, the session or the sessions today are going to be talking about what has happened over the past year, specifically COVID and the pandemic, and what are we to take away from it? If you want to hear about the science behind it or the politics, that's not what these sessions are really about. These are really about how do I, as a human being, make sense of it, or what meaning can I extract from it in my own life? And the sessions are going to sort of progress, and we'll sort of build up on the topics as we go forward. So it would be nice if if you can, able to join the sessions throughout the day. So this first session is entitled COVID and me, and the idea is, first understanding my position within what's been happening over the past year as a human being fundamentally, and everybody has had questions regarding this pandemic, and with that, if there are any questions, if anybody has any questions that you would like to pose to Ali Mermer, you can send me a message, and we can sort of filter them, and I can present them. But everybody has had questions over the past year, usually beginning with, let's say, why is this happening? What is happening? How am I to make sense of this? Did it have to be this way, etc.? I mean, there are innumerable questions, and if you have questions, feel free to send me a message, and I can try to present them. So that's where we're going to start today, this morning. And I guess the first thing, I can share just briefly my own experience, and I'm sure people have shared have similar experiences, maybe different, but I myself work in a healthcare setting, so quite often the questions are, what am I supposed to do? At least as it pertains to my physical life. Maybe social distance. Should I take a vaccine? Should I not take the vaccine? Should I get tested? How long do you think this is going to last? Is life ever going to be the same? Is society ever going to be the same? Are we ever going to be able to shake hands or give each other a hug? Well, these are questions that I've been asked, and these are quite common questions, especially because society has changed over the past year and a half. For the vast majority of people, something that they have never witnessed in their own life. Now, what I would ask, and I'm just going to mute people's mics, unless, like I said, if there is a question, just send me a message through Zoom. What I would ask Dr. Ali Mermer first is, what, in terms of what's been going on, I think there is a sort of presumption, or the discourse, especially if you read the news, listen to the news, listen to people speak, scientists speak, the public speak. There's a presumption that this is how the order is, that this virus, is just another sort of disease along a list of diseases throughout the human history. Do you have, is there really any issue talking about this virus from that perspective? And that, this is just another natural phenomenon throughout the course of history. Can you hear? Ali Mermer?
Yes, I can hear you, but I messed up with my mic, so
okay.
I didn't hear the last sentences.
So what I was saying is, the within sort of the air, the conversation, whether by people who consider themselves to be, intellectual, let's say scientists, news media people, public also, that this seems to be just sort of out of the order of existence or out of the order of, you know, things that are happening. So there's not really much to think about. It's just another virus or another disease in the course of human history. It's a natural phenomenon, and we should treat it as that and address it, treat it, deal with it, and move on with our life. Is there really any issue with that? Because, is this really, I mean, is this really any different than anything else in the sense that it's a phenomenon, it's a it has a scientific explanation. We can, look at the virus, examine it, treat it, and that's it. Is there really anything else to make out of this?
I think this one was not experienced before. Maybe long ago, the Hispanic flu was famous, or the Spanish flu was famous, but the people forgot about it, and this also affected an unexpected death, which is not accustomed with the people, with us, and also affected our social life and social setting. That is very important because we have been following certain way of life, and now we found out that I cannot go to the office. What shall I take? How can I take care of my work, and how can I make my life in a different setting now? That is why it is. It was taken as a new phenomenon. Actually, as far as the setting of the universe is concerned, order of the universe is concerned, I don't think it is different from any other phenomena that we like, we don't like, we get ill, and we look for the cure for our illness, etc. So essentially, it is not different from anything that we have been experiencing in this order of the universe, but because our being not accustomed to this particular disease, and also we didn't know how to handle with it at the beginning, and it was a kind of panic. That's what I see, that we experienced this panic.
So okay, yeah, that is, you're right in that this is unusual for us. I guess as humanity in general, it's unusual. I guess my first question is this just a, something, a random sort of event? So people have theories of how it originated, but it's a random event, can't be predicted, and there's really nothing to read into it. There's nothing sort of meaningful there. It's just like, if I, somehow get the flu, I don't know if I'll get sick or when I'll get sick, but I'll get sick maybe, and then I deal with it. And this just seems to be another sort of natural phenomenon out of nature that, human beings weren't careful, and that's it. And maybe next time human beings need to be a little more careful about how they deal with the world or the environment, and we learn from it, and that's it. I mean, is there anything problematic about that? Because that's sort of the common lesson from this.
It goes deep into our understanding of existence, actually. Or how do we understand the existence of the universe, the existence of human beings, and existence of human feelings, reactions, happiness, unhappiness, liking, disliking, this relationship? First of all, we have to check ourselves how we see the universe, and how do we interpret the reality of this universe. What is it all about? That's why accordingly we will have a stand before any particular event happening here. If I say nature has developed itself by itself, or however it happened, it came into existence, or it has been existing forever with no limitations from the beginning to the end, according to my understanding of the nature of existence, so that I will take my stand. Everything is based on how do I evaluate the nature of this universe? How do I evaluate myself? That's why, in order to be able to say something about a particular event, it may be COVID, may be another disease, for example, of course, cancer, which is very frightening to everyone, which is not unknown how to cure it. That is another problem. If we know that the nature of this universe is working on a particular order, then this order can be handled by human beings or not. Accordingly, we take the stand and we interpret the events happening out there. That is, if we are going to discuss as an opening to the subject, which will continue consequent two more sessions in the series, then we have to really start from the very beginning. How do we see this universe, this existence? The question one. And we may follow, how do we see my existence in particular? The third question which will follow, how do I see my feelings? A fourth subject that we should deal with. Okay, I have free will. How can how much I am free, and what am I going to do with this freedom, etc. All these sequences must be followed, and that is the way I understand that I can say COVID or any other things that I am not happy with will fall under this umbrella of a series of questions, and then I will interpret accordingly. Not I have a positive or negative attitude towards COVID or a particular cancer or death. This is the reality that everybody faces. I have to see my stand before the reality of the existence of this universe. How do I see it? Thank you.
I thank you for laying out those questions. I guess the first question you mentioned about the order of existence of the universe. How do I see that? I guess what I would say is there anything problematic about saying that? And if not, I mean, maybe you disagree. Is there anything problematic about saying that this is just a natural phenomenon, a chance phenomenon? I'm not saying maybe I deny the existence of a creator, but within my day-to-day life, this virus, it just so happened to be, and nothing. I'm not saying I don't believe in a creator, but this virus concerns my life. It's a particular event, and like not trying to read much more into that. Is there, because that's a common thought, is that what does God really have to do with this event specifically? I mean, you brought up order of existence. What are your thoughts on that?
What I would say about this belief in the creator is always, I'm careful about this, because those people who say that I don't believe in the creator And the difference between those people who say, I believe in the Creator, in fact, if we really think about the particular events that we take a certain stand before is concerned, then whether I believe in the Creator of the universe or I don't believe in the Creator of the universe, on the very basis does not make much difference. Of course, to start with and continue thinking, reflecting on the reality of the nature of the creation, this initial stand is very important. If you start with claiming that there is no creator at all, then your way of thinking continues in this way, on that direction. Everything is happening haphazardly, maybe and by accident, or happen to be like this. So even if I don't understand the nature of creation or nature of existence. But if I say that there is a creator, there are two options in front of us. One is, if there is a creator, then everything must be according to the will of that creator. That is one stand. The second stand is, if there is a creator, and that's it. He created, is out there, somewhere there. Of course, the creator, I cannot question the nature of the creator because it is not of the nature of the universe. So I cannot really figure out which kind of being he is, but I can only say that, no, it is not like the universe or anything of the universe. But afterwards, it is not the end of the story. Do I bring this creator into my life? It means, do I bring the creator into my understanding of existence? It means, again, do I really understand that every particular event is the result of the choice of this creator? Or another very important option that we have, yes, the creator has established the universe, or has given existence to the universe, and let everything work as initially the existence is put into order. This order is initiated by the creator, but it is acting by itself now. According to this last section of the last step or option of believing in creator, and a person who says there is no creator at all, as far as the interpretation of the particular events is concerned, there is no difference. Because I will say, yes, God will set the order in this way, and the order is acting by itself now. The other one will say, well, there is no creator, but the order is acting in itself now. So in my attitude towards the particular events is concerned, there's no difference. That's why we have to be very careful. If one claims that I believe in the creator, then he has to go further, develop which kind of creator he is, which kind of activities he is performing now as a result of definition of the creator, and then particular events are happening because of his choice. And my attitude, that is very important as far as our session is concerned. My attitude towards that particular event, whatever it is. COVID is a common subject of the day. Otherwise, I mean, everything is new for me every day. So we can generalize the subject. Anything happens in this world, I have a certain attitude towards it, whether positive or negative. I am happy, I am unhappy. If I am conscious of it, definitely I will question, why am I happy with this or unhappy with this? Which this the source of these feelings. Am I really using them or not? That is another question. It means, am I free to interpret it this way or this way? Look at yourself and decide. Yeah.
Yeah, this is, because I want to get to how I feel or how people feel in general. But it's interesting that you say that there really isn't a difference between saying that I don't believe in any creator or source of existence or higher power or whatever people call it, and somebody who says I believe in it but it has no effect in my life. It's a very interesting statement that you made because it's in the general atmosphere, people would make a distinction between somebody saying that I believe in God or I don't believe in God. But what you're saying is it's my perception of what that creator how his will has an impact in my life or in terms of the order of existence. And that's what matters, my attitude or my perception of that source of existence. Because, if I say that his will has no effect in my life, then, as it pertains to my everyday life, practically speaking, as you said, there is no difference, which is interesting. I guess what I would say to that, does that, because you brought up how I feel, and I would ask, does that extend to how I feel? Because that seems like a very particular thing, how I feel. That's my own personal feeling. The universe is so big. This pandemic is so beyond me. What role does how I feel have anything to do with it? Why can't I just feel happy, sad, and that's it? I mean, somebody mentioned in one of the questions here that, in a sense, it comes from how people feel. They don't want to get infected, so man developed a vaccine. And now, now humans are getting vaccinated and we're moving on. What role does how I feel have anything to do with it? I would ask in this situation.
Now, that's a good point. Now we are going forward. I'm happy that we came to this point now. Feeling. I think the most important question is whether the universe is acting in this way or another way under the will of the creator or without the will of the creator. The most essential question, if I say that, even if I say that the universe is a creator, what we usually miss out in our reflections or in our evaluations of the meaning of the events. We say, most of the people, if you speak, yourself, myself, if I'm not very conscious of what's going on in the world and in this particular universe, if I say I'm created, it doesn't mean that I mean at the same time, I am including at the same time my feelings are created. If I say that, yes, my body is created and my feelings are under my own control and these feelings are given to me, these feelings exist there just because of my free will. I'm choosing this way or in this way. I am developing. I am, for example, such a person. I say, I like this kind of things. I don't like this kind of things. That this choice is mixed up with the existence of liking, the feeling of liking. First of all, I would rather, if I am conscious of what I'm doing, most of the time I'm not, I'm just doing as I'm used to the regular lifestyle. But if I really reflect on it, rather than starting from, I like this, why do I like this? I don't like that. Why do I not like that? I would question where this sense of liking or disliking came to me from. How I have this kind of feelings? How come that I was born with certain feelings? And this is very common. Excuse me. Again, okay. That's my problem. Okay. I'm very uncomfortable with this missing out the existence of human feelings. Which kind of feelings do we have? It is enormous. It is, we are just mixed up of feelings, in fact. Otherwise, if I take my feelings out, which is in the religious language called spirit, human spirit, what remains is just my body. And my body is not much different from any ordinary animal body. So I am reducing myself, if I don't take notice of the existence of my feelings, automatically I am reducing myself to the status of animals. I'm not saying that animal status are bad or good, but what I'm saying, I'm reducing myself to an animalistic existence. Then feelings are not taken into consideration. That's why in order to make sense of any phenomena and in order to define the nature of any phenomena, I have to define the reality of my human abilities, because as a human being, I am doing this. Not as a body, I am doing that. So if I say I have independent feelings from my creator, of course, I will challenge the creator. I will take a certain attitude saying that, hey, creator, yes, you are doing this, for example, COVID, whatever it is, the people call it COVID, I call it angel, death angel. So it is just reminding me of my nature, like all other events, actually. For example, in essence, I'm jumping from one point to one, but human feelings are very important. In essence, the revolving of the earth, the phenomenon of revolving of the earth is not different from the COVID virus in its essence. Why? They are happening outside of me by the will of what? Or accidental, how do I interpret them? Without taking the feelings into account, then I cannot really make a right judgment or come to a right conclusion about my interpretation of the events outside of me.
Before you go on, what do you mean by that? What do you mean that how I feel is necessary to make a sound judgment? Can you sort of explain that? Because what you're really doing here is you're really putting how I feel in a prominent position within this order that I'm experiencing or these events that I'm going through.
Now, if I claim that, for example, I developed my sense of liking, it means I am claiming the ownership of this sense, this feeling, liking. So I like certain things. For example, I like health related to COVID problem. So I like health. But now I am challenged by someone else that threatens me that he may take away my health, including possibility that he may take away my life. Who is that? Why? Somebody is, whether you call it God, you call it nature, whatever you call it, why somebody else is doing something against my expectations? That will be a clash now between me and an external factor. This is big. I mean, we are all Muslims here, so we are familiar with the story of Adam. So Adam and Iblis, the devil. So what was the problem with or between God and devil, or Iblis, or God and Adam? The problem is Iblis said, I decide about my status. It is not you who gave me this. Yeah, because you created me, but it is now up to me to decide. And Adam said, I'm created by you, and you gave me the qualities. It's speaking to God. I mean, this is just the scenario presented to us, speaking to God and saying, you gave me the qualities from yourself. Now, in the language of the Quran, from your own soul. So you gave me these kind of qualities, and I have to respect them as your presence to me. The difference between Iblis and human spirit, human soul, lies here essentially. One of them owns his qualities, saying that I am superior. Although you created me, but you created me in a superior position. So he is now using his qualities independently from its creator and saying that why you put me in a lower position in existence than this guy newly introduced to the paradise. He's just an innate, naive guy. He doesn't know. I am an expert of paradise, so I must be the one who is entitled to represent you rather than this guy. So this guy means Adam. So that is why it is figuratively presented to us that Iblis didn't want to accept the superiority of Adam. What does it mean? In creation, God, the creator, has endowed different qualities than his in Adam. For example, we use horses. Do we say that, oh, the horse carried me for 1 hour, so I have to carry him for another hour? We say this horse is created in order to serve me. I accept the choice of the creator and submit to it. Because I said, or the Adam said, this feeling, this setting is given to God and it is up to him to decide. Whereas evil said, yes, God created, but it is not up to God to create, it is up to me. So it is not up to God to use it, it is up to me to use it and evaluate the case now. How do I evaluate it? By saying or understanding that if I misuse my feelings by attributing them to myself, it is very important. Now we are really getting into the crux of the subject now. If I attribute the feelings to myself as I developed, as I own it, then start interpreting the events, definitely I will find myself in front of the external agent may it be God, may it be nature, doesn't matter, as a challenging factor to myself. That is why we have to start the subject from this base. Which kind of understandings we have as far as the existence of our feelings.
I appreciate you highlighting that point, especially with that the prophetic narration about Adam and Iblis, because it really sort of highlights the issue about do we own how we feel about any sort of experience we have or any event that's taking place that, as you said, is beyond our will or choice or our choice. In this situation we're talking about, a virus, COVID. I would ask if the issue is ownership of how we feel, then if I don't like what's happening currently, if I don't like it, why is he interfering with how I feel? Why make me feel a certain way? It doesn't. It seems a bit contradictory. Just like, I mean, Iblis may have felt, okay, you made me feel not to not want to be inferior. So why are you putting me in that position to begin with anyway?
Yeah.
Because this is I think a common sentiment among people who believe.
Yeah, that is why we always question actions happening out there. Although a person who doesn't believe in God questions a lot, why is it happening? But it is a challenging question to the external factor. It means God or nature. Why nature did this to me? If a person accepts or realizes that these feelings doesn't belong to me, the one who created me to dislike this event or like this event. Now I am in the crossroad, in front of the crossroad now. He asked me to dislike. He asked me to like it. I have to say, he, the one who created me, consciously put this feeling into my being and said, he disliked me. I would construct the sentence accordingly. Why does he want me to dislike this event? That's very important. I'm not saying why do I not like this event. I'm saying, why does he want me to dislike this event? Now the other person says, naturally happening, I don't like it, interpreting his feelings as natural things happened by itself, and I'm just developing them, using them, utilizing them, whatever. He says, I don't like it. Why am I put in this position, either by God or by nature? Regardless. But if someone says, why am I put in this position by God, he finds himself challenging God. That is why we can move towards finding the vaccine. If nature challenges me with the COVID, I have to challenge back with the nature by finding the vaccine for it. Now, what's wrong with it? One thing is essentially missing here. If nature has challenging you by giving you COVID, it means really creating you COVID, accidentally, you should find the vaccine accidentally. Because the nature of the universe is acting accidentally. Eventually, it developed into itself. It developed itself into order. So we don't really take notice that I am given this disease by an agent, whatever the agent is, and the same agent has provided the means to find a solution for it. Because vaccine is not invention. Vaccine is finding. Everything is finding. We are using the computer now. It is a finding. We found it. We didn't invent them. It means give a new creation. We discovered within the order how to develop a vaccine or how to make a telephone, for example. And we are benefiting from the order of the universe in order to look for a solution. If there is a God, why do we think? It is a very essential question. It looks philosophical question, but it's not. It's a very human question. Why do we think that we are given COVID and at the same time we are given the solution for the COVID virus within the same order of existence? That is the most essential, another most essential question. Can both sides happen accidentally, or it is a conscious arrangement? And the reason I have to think, I am given something that I don't like, and this dislike is given to me, and again, I am provided with the means to get rid of it so that I am put into a certain process of going through and questioning, why am I in this position? That is why the human history records the most essential question: who am I in this world? What am I doing here? Here is the disease in the existence. Here is the solution in the existence. Here is the human feeling in the existence. Again, I found myself within this setting, and within this setting, I am going through certain stages of experiences. Why am I put in this certain stage of experiences? It's a very interesting question to think about it actually. Can it happen accidentally? Is it possible to interpret that these things happened accidentally? The adjustment between the order of the universe, between the functioning of my body, and also the adjustment between the order of the universe, function of my body, and also functioning of my feelings, plus I am in the steering wheel of my life in this world. It means the car is provided, all the options, the road and the traffic rules, everything is provided by someone else. I am just using the steering wheel to go this direction or to that direction in my interpretation of the existence, or in my interpretation of the reality of existence. When I say, who am I? This question is a huge question. It's a very important question, but it must be put, this question must be put within the relationship of these connections. The order outside, order within my body, and order within my feelings, functioning together. That's why I said order. They are related to each other. They are interconnected, intertwined with each other. You cannot really think without looking at the universe. You cannot really think without your brain there. You cannot really think if you don't have the ability to think. For example, if you don't have the ability to have a life, if you are not living, you cannot. If you don't have a life, you can think in this world, in this creation. These are very essential subjects to me that we have to think. We are using the steering wheel within a certain set of existence. And this existence cannot be explainable by existing by itself and happened to be like this by itself. It developed by itself. No, there are millions of different species, especially the living beings, and also billions, trillions of different species of other kinds of inanimate existent beings. They perfectly work within a harmony, although they have contradictory natures, but they are all compatible with each other and also working in harmony and supporting the function of each other, helping each other. This is the real nature of the universe. If someone is impartially, with no bias attitude, think about the universe. It cannot happen accidentally at all. So I have to put myself into this setting in order to analyze any case.
It's interesting that you are saying that how I feel, and that there is an order in that, and there is an order out there as well, and the order within my body, all are interrelated. They're all interconnected. Material and immaterial things are interconnected in order to, have a position or an attitude, to make a choice. But it's interesting because if I conclude that, as you said, that okay, his will definitely must be at work here, in that I don't attribute this to some sort of chance event or to nature, because really I can't really point to nature out there. There's no such thing. If I say, okay, well, the order of how I feel is under his will, and the order out there with this virus is under his will, and the order within my body to react negatively, from my perspective, is also under his will, his conscious choice. I guess my question then is, what am I really doing then? Like, what am I supposed to be doing then? Because if I have no control whatsoever, if I really have no choice in the matter, not even in a choice in how I feel, what choice do I really have at the end of the day?
Driving a car is a very simple example. I have the option not to do anything, not to add anything to the car, not to add anything to the road and traffic rules. I have given the option all set, ready for me, but the steering wheel is in my hand. If you ask me when I am driving the car, I'm driving the car. In fact, I'm not driving the car. Car has already been made, or you can call it created, already been created with the quality to function. I am just using the steering wheel, nothing adding to any new creation. What does it mean? The most important element in analyzing the existence, for example, my main subject was what? Why is it happening to me? Now, COVID, threatening my life, restricting my social life, and also making me hesitant in my existence. I don't know whether I will exist now or not, because suddenly I may be caught up by a virus and die, suffer from it. Why is it happening to me? Now, in order to answer this question, I have to come back to the very basic analysis of the existence there. So this is why am I in the steering wheel and free to direct the car to go this way or another way, although road is created, ready, car is created, ready, all the tools are created, ready, and my consciousness is created, ready, everything is ready, but one thing is in my hand. But this thing cannot attribute anything to existence, but utilize it. I usually call it, we human beings are conscious beings, that we can make sense of it, that we are not producers, we are consumers. Consuming what? Whatever is given out there in the universe, within me and within my feelings. All the ability to ask these questions as well, which is consciousness. I am aware that I exist. I am aware that I'm conscious. So why am I put in this position? Without asking all these questions, why this COVID is affecting, why is this COVID affecting our life, disturbing our routine of life that we have established? Now you will see the difference. If God wills, hopefully it will, this COVID problem goes away, becomes an ordinary, as far as we are, our perception is concerned, then we will start questioning what we have been doing before COVID. Everybody was running to the high-rise buildings and putting themselves in a very small cube and feeling under the control and oppressions of our bosses, etc., etc. I am in my house doing my work and no one is observing me really physically. This is a good idea. Let's change our way of life. Why don't we look at this kind of events from this perspective, that whoever arranged this setting is teaching us something. You have taken care of, taken for granted that your life has to be in this way. No, it doesn't. No, this is one question, of course, one reminder. There are many others, but this is one of them. No, it doesn't. Don't condition yourself. You have opened up that the one who established this order and you, etc., may have different purposes. Find out, question. Don't just follow your routine as if it has to be followed. There's no other option. For example, I wake up in the morning and get ready for breakfast and ready to go to work, or however I go, public transportation, car or running or biking or whatever, walking, and then go to this place, sit behind the table and do or open my shop and wait for the customers to come, etc., etc. What does it mean? All these things. We don't question if we develop the familiarity with the certain way of life. That is why the people, when they get retired, they panic. Now, everybody starts to work. I am going to retire at the age of, depending on the country, but let's say 65 in the US. So I will be comfortable then, but as the person approaches 60, 63, 64, a panic happens here. What am I going to do now if I don't go to my work? You see, this attitude doesn't match human reality, because human beings are not created to follow a routine without reasoning, without questioning. This is why we have to have the freedom to question. Why is it happening to me? But question it. Why does the code happen to me now, to our society. Now, don't say, oh, it is disturbing me. No, it may be teaching you a lot of things to you because it is disturbing your routine life. It means you have to question, why is it this? Why do I have the need for breakfast? Why do I have the need to take care of my family, my life? And why do I take care of my health, etc.? Why am I giving all these feelings? These are the main questions that we have to ask. That is, the free will is given to us to function in this way. We have to question, who is doing this? Why is it doing this? How is it doing this? Why is it doing this? What am I supposed to do in my response to this action? Shall I take devilish, challenging action, conflicting action with my creator, or shall I take submissive action with towards my creator as Adam represents? Actually, devil and Adam here represents my reality of my life. That is what we are supposed to do. Question and understand the wisdom in the existence of everything, whether we like it or we don't like it. I will just wrap up so far what we have discussed with this conclusion. When something happens that I am happy with, I don't really question. Well, that's how life is, you know. Going and having my breakfast. Okay, I work, I make money, etc. And I have the means and to get along with, and that's how it is. But it is extremely important to notice that the human nature is like this, and we need to discuss this matter in other sessions. And the moderators of the other sessions actually should take this point into consideration. When something happens that I don't like, I react and I say, who is doing this to me? But when I have my comfortable, healthy life, I don't ask this question, who is doing this to me? But when I am not happy with the event creation, I ask the question, who is this doing to me? Is it bad? Not at all. I have to ask the same question in both cases. Who is this? Who is that doing this to me when I found my healthy life this morning, new day, fresh breeze, sunlight, beautiful spring weather? I have to ask this question, who is providing all this to me? When I'm not happy, who is providing all this to me, and what is the point? But in order to do that, we have to be careful, that we have to understand the order is the result of a conscious choice of a one who knows the past and the future, and me and my conscious, my awareness of my existence and awareness of my free will. He is teaching something to me within this context. That is why we have to ask the same question for everything that happens to us or comes to our world. But we have to be careful which kind of attitude we take. Devilish attitude, challenging the creator rather than saying, oh, this is given to me, there must be a wisdom. Or Adamic attitude, if you like, the attitude of the soul, is the attitude of human conscience, which realizes the truth. and enables human beings to be aware of the truth. So I will have to say, now, this is given to me as an opportunity to fulfill a mission in this world. What is that? I have to look for it. It means I have to submit to the question and then develop or continue. What am I supposed to do in this creation?
It's I know we're running to about an hour. The session's for an hour and a half, so maybe extended. I know if anybody has any questions, but you can ask them. But it's interesting that you're saying that what the choice that we really have is about perception, or how we perceive the event or the experience that we're going through, based off of how we feel and what is the order that's being demonstrated out there and within me. You know, one thing I want to touch on is because you also brought in maybe, you know, changing our perspective on how we live our life. I guess, can you touch on the fact that maybe an event or an experience has numerous or other perspectives rather than just simply the negative? Because it's almost as if you're taking a positive attitude towards the event itself, and not just simply, okay, I don't like the fact that I'm going to get ill potentially or potentially die, but you're also saying maybe there's a positive aspect, or I don't like the word positive, but in the sense that, you know, maybe it also means something about how I live my life. Is that something that is possible within any event, you know, let's say this event, or really any event in my life?
Not only the question is it possible or not? I would rather say, as a conscious human being, I have to be aware of my reality, and I must ask this question: what is?
Your mic cut out. Yeah, I think I don't know if you muted yourself. Can you unmute?
No, I can.
Yeah, if you go back to the beginning of the.
My internet connection was unstable for a while. Yeah, it is okay now. Hopefully. Why is it happening now to me? So I cannot guarantee anything. So how are we locating ourselves in the existence? How do we see ourselves in the existence? The Quranic example is extremely interesting. It's very useful too. For example, the Quran represents that this devilish attitude, which is contesting with the Creator, contesting the Creator, challenging the Creator, and saying, "You did this, I don't like it, I like it, and you did something that I don't like it, so I don't like you either." This is what happened. But the Quran says, yes, that this devil said, "You created me with these qualities, so I own it now and I have to use it as I want." Now, on the contrary, Adam said, "You created me." Both of them say, "You created me." Adam says, on the contrary, "You created me and I want an eternal life, but I cannot do it. Get it? You can give me. If I try to get my eternal happiness myself, I fail." The Quran demonstrates it. After approaching the tree, which is prohibited area, which is human beings cannot make their life eternal by themselves, but they need eternity. So Adam goes back, "Oh, I am sorry. I forgot that that is the Quranic description, that I cannot obtain anything. I have to come back to you and ask you to fulfill my needs. That these needs are given to us by him. Again, we are not inventing anything. For example, do you want to be healthy? Yes. Say, it's a standard language, but I will repeat it. There may be some friends here joining us, and the first time joining us. This is what I have to admit. These feelings that I have been given is a promise from you. For example, I want to be young. Yes, really. Now, in this age, if I am given the option to be young, definitely I will give everything in this world but to be young. You know, this is whatever I claim to have. So to be young, I want it. So I need that one. This is the switching point, if you like, in my direction of thinking. Can I make myself young? As far as the creation, the order in the creation is concerned, I try to delay it, postpone it, but no way. Everybody experience it. That is the reality that I'm aging and I will die. So, but my sense is given to me. What am I going to do with it? Now I have to direct it to the Creator, because he gave me the desire for young, healthy life. So I have to admit that this is given to me in order to turn back to him, so that you can do it, not me, because you gave me the desire. Whereas the evil said, you created me in a superior position and I must be given the superior position. I deserve it. Rather than saying that you gave me this and it is up to you to give me what I want, because this desire for wanting anything is from you. This dialogue is extremely important, because it is my dialogue with my Creator. In the dialogue, the Iblis, Adam, and God's presentation of this matter to us is an extremely important subject, so that we have to bring it home for our own problems to solve it. So we have to ask the purpose in the existence of these feelings, and how am I going to get to respond to it? It doesn't mean that, okay, health, the desire for health is given to me by my Creator, so that I will ask him to give me health. Now, we are turning the direction of thinking now. So what shall I do? Of course, I have to go back to his order to find the vaccine. But while I am finding the vaccine, trying to find the vaccine to cure for it, I must bear in mind that I shouldn't claim that I'm going to cure it, but I am asking the Creator of the order to give me the opportunity, to teach me the way how I can find the cure which is created by you again, the means of finding the vaccine created by you in the order, while I am doing the research or all the investigations in my lab, I have to bear in mind that I am asking my creator through his action how I can fulfill my need within this universe, as much as the conditions and limitations of this kind of creation are concerned. So while I am doing the lab work, physical lab work, I have to bear in mind that I am asking God to give me the cure. Because the cure in the order of the universe is already created by the same creator. That is why I am put in this triangular relationship between God, between the order of the universe, and between my need. Triangular relationship. So what am I doing there? The more I investigate, the more I become aware of my creator, that he is putting me in this process. The more I go through this process of investigating, the more I become aware of my creator, and I am getting closer and closer in my acknowledgement of my creator. So this is why the things, whether we like or we don't like, are happening to me in order to go this process of realization of my relationship with my creator through the universe and through using my feelings. The purpose of the existence of anything in this world is for my own realization. So I should not say, why am I disturbed? Yeah, why is it happening to me? Yes, it is happening to you for a good purpose, to become aware of who you are, to become aware of who your origin of source of existence is, so that you become familiar with him. Because if you don't realize who the source of existence, your existence is, you just leave him not like a conscious questioning and seeking the answer to his questions, human being, or just living here like an ordinary other being. But I don't know what they live, because I've never been an animal or in the stone or a star. So how do they feel it? I don't know. But I shouldn't speculate about it. But at the same time, as far as the capacity of my existence, the conditions of my existence are concerned, I have to make the difference for myself through going these different experiences of life. That is, I will call it, the purpose of existence in this world. Why do we exist here? In order to get education in this universe. I think this is the subject of the following session.
Yes, I appreciate you closing on that note because, well, to tie it all together, as we talked about, and there are a few minutes if anybody has any comments or questions. But first, the idea that, or the recognition that there is an order out there, and that order, which includes myself, my body, physical body, but also how I feel, also subject to a conscious will, conscious choice at work. Not only the virus, but all those things together, and they're interrelated, and there's a communication happening or a dialogue happening. And the question is, what my perspective is, how I interpret that. And, seeing, as you mentioned at the end here, my choice being how I interpret it plays into what sort of education or what lesson or what thing I'm learning about my creator, and therefore what relationship I have with my creator. who has created all of these things together at the same time. And it's a very different perspective, as you ended with, in terms of understanding this virus, because that is not what is, in the prevailing discussion. There's no mention of it being a learning event, or an education, or something to do with my relationship with my creator, and understanding who he is and what my position is and what am I doing here. They're very, very deep existential questions, that inshallah we can further address in the next two sessions. But with that said, does anybody have any comments or questions? We have a few minutes left. If you can raise your hand. Go ahead, Yusuf.
Just to try to take one of yesterday's presentations. It was, I think, the second presentation yesterday. Presenters were talking about complaining. So I do complain, and now that today we are talking about human feelings and where does this complaint start from, because in your questions, you said that it's something that I don't like, why is this happening to me? And what I understand from Brother Ali's presentation is, I complain because I take my feelings for granted. Again, I have the right to be comfortable, and I am being disturbed by these external entities which shouldn't really be messing up with me. And what I understand from Brother Ali's presentation is, I first question, where does this feeling coming to me from? Do I have the right to really take them for granted? Or the feeling itself is also being given to me? Once I start questioning that, actually, it starts becoming meaningful than to say that if I can really establish the idea that the feeling is also being given to me, then the whole picture changes. I think, as Brother Ali was rightfully saying, this is really gist of the matter. So if I can start really questioning the ownership of feelings, then I'm going to treat COVID differently, because it's something that disturbs me. But then I will start, rather than questioning why I am being disturbed, and I will start questioning this feeling of disturbance being given to me within an order like the rest of the universe. So what does that mean becomes my more relevant question. And this is changing really the flavor of things. Previously, it was a complaint and a challenge, but now it becomes more of a curiosity now. And I'm trying to figure out seriously what's going on in here. So this is why I guess in order to really get to the conclusion of an education, solving the riddle of this feelings and not taking them for granted plays so much of a crucial role. Alhamdulillah, today's discussion was good in the sense to highlight that key problem. Jazakallah khairan.
I appreciate that. In that, as you said, feelings take a center role here, because that's who I am. That's pertains to, as Ali Mermer was saying, I have a spirit, and how I feel pertains to that spirit, and that's a central role within my existence or my experience of this life. And that is a means to sort of make sense of what's happening and who am I and what's my purpose here. I don't know if Ali, remember you wanted to comment on what he said, or if anybody has any thoughts or questions for them also.
In addition to what Yusuf said, yes, my feelings are in the center. But what is missing nowadays among the people who think about what this universe is all about, what our existence is all about? So these people usually omit or skip away the feelings, but some of them don't. We must accept that. Yes, we have feelings, what we are going to do with it, etc. But even deeper than this, everybody knows that we have feelings. Yeah. everybody is obviously aware, whether you are a believer, non-believer, whoever you are, that the universe exists out there and I exist here. And some people concentrate on feelings, some don't. They say, okay, here I am, and they think of their stomach, they think of their comfort, maybe the shelter, the house they have, or the means, what they are going to eat, or how they are going to dress up, etc. But most people, more or less, take notice of the feelings as well, and then question rightly or wrongly. Yeah, but even deeper than this, for my own experience, questioning my own self, I realized that human free will is to be taken into consideration seriously. The existence of this free will may look mysterious. What is that? Which kind of thing it is? None of my business. I don't argue about that point, although historically people argued about it. All Muslims took it, Muslim scholars took it seriously, because they were more precise than the other philosophical currents in human history. They argued about it really extensively. What is the nature of free will? But I don't say, what is the nature of free will? Whatever it is, leave it to scholars to discuss, to argue about it, but the reality is with me out there. I have free will. I'm using it. Now, we have to question this aspect of human being seriously. Whatever it is, again, I'm emphasizing when people say, am I really free? No, you are free to ask this question as well. Am I really free? It is your choice. Again, it is reality out there. We have to accept that it is there. So what is the purpose of existence of free will? Why am I given a freedom to choose this way or another way? It means, why am I put into the steering wheel of my universe? I am the center of my universe. I am interpreting it in any direction that I want, as far as I am concerned. Your existence, your free will is only an element in my free will. Again, I have Suhail here questioning me, bombarding me with lots of subjects. What am I going to do now? By using my free will, shall I get angry with him? Shall I say, why do you interfere into my personal life, man? So let me think about myself. Come on. So why should I bother about you, etc.? It is again me. Everything is me. We have to understand that every individual must claim that universe, including myself in it, is given existence for me alone. You have to say this. It doesn't really contradict my claim. You have your own perspective of understanding and utilizing the universe. I will have my own perspective, although your perspective is an element in my universe. So human free will must be taken into consideration. Why am I given what may be the purpose in the existence of this free will that I am inevitably experiencing in my life? It means no one can say that. For example, if I say, okay, I'm not going to use my free will, it is so ridiculous to claim this, because it is the result of your free will. Not to say that I'm not going to use the free will. You are exercising your free will. It is inevitable to escape. It is inevitable to escape from my existence. It is inevitable to escape from my reality. It is inevitable to escape from using my free will. I think the most important challenging subject for me, what am I going to do with free will, whether I know of its nature or not, regardless. Here is my fact. What am I going to do this? For example, if I question the COVID, why is it happening to me? It is my free will to question it. And why am I given this option to question the existence of something that I dislike, or question the existence of something that I like? We should not forget, because we are bombarded with the bad things happen. Everybody knows that every day. I mean, this is a typical example, of course. Don't take me that I'm saying something extraordinary. No, every day sun rises. Not many people, majority of the people, don't question why sun is rising today. As far as my existence is concerned, what is the purpose? But on the other hand, if something happens in a way that we don't like it, for example, an accident, very big calamity happens, as we call it calamity. I would be careful not to use the word calamity, but people call it calamity. Calamity happens, it is in the news. That's why we always think the extraordinary things happening to us, which is we are not accustomed with. But we don't think, according to us, what is happening ordinarily. We don't question this. The free will is given to us to question everything, because the existence of everything, I think we can, as far as I am concerned, you are the moderator, you will decide, we can conclude this. Everything is in existence, including my free will, is extraordinary because it is in the hands of the will of the one who gave existence to this universe. That is the stand we should have in this world. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair for that. There were a few other questions. I don't know. I know we can take a couple more since we started a little late. I don't know if anybody wants to voice out their question, raise their hand. Okay. I don't see any hands raised. Hikmat, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. So my voice is hearable?
There's a little bit of background noise, but go ahead.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask that it was mentioned by Ali Mermer that who is doing this to me, and I don't ask the same question when I'm healthy. I ask this question when actually I'm interrupted or I'm sick and so on. Well, actually, my question is like, how do you see the purpose to let me ask such a question? Like, what is the purpose of the Creator to let me ask such a question?
Thank you for that. So just to restate if you can mute your mic, just to restate the question, it was about what is the purpose from the Creator for me to even able to ask such a question?
Now, very brief. We are out of time, but okay, we will use some few minutes for it. What is the purpose or in the existence of this setting, actually? Yeah, I have to develop myself, because I need to develop myself. I need to discover what is within me. I have to cut it short here. If I discover what is within me, I would be discovering the qualities of the one who gave this existence to me. It means I will be becoming aware of the source of my existence. so that I will have a relationship with him. Because if I don't know who my creator is, I will be following a self-centric understanding of existence. It means, here I am, I exist by myself, and that's it. That's the end of the story. I have to try to enjoy myself until I die. Death is inevitable. What shall I do? That is my, I'd say, luck. This is how my portion of in existence. I have to live in a certain period of time, but what is it to me now? I have to develop myself. But in fact, all these are given to us in order to become familiar with the one who gave us existence, so that I can be addressing to him, communicating with him, acknowledging him, developing my human qualities. For example, if you never studied, I know you are in the medical field, if you never studied medicine, would you be aware that you can do this kind of things that you are doing now? Would you know that you can do what you are doing? For example, if you didn't study medicine, will you be aware what is going on in this existence as far as the medical subjects are concerned? It means you wouldn't, although this ability to become a doctor is within you, but if you don't study it, if you don't develop it, if you don't really find out all what is hidden in you, you wouldn't be able to be aware that, oh, this kind of qualities I had in my existence. So discovering yourself and developing your understanding of yourself ends up with developing the qualities of your creator and becoming familiar with him. That is the relationship between you and your creator, so that you become aware of your relationship with your creator, so that you will be really attaining the status that you know who you are and you know who your creator is. So that this relationship takes you back to your creator. It means you become aware of him. That is a very brief one, and I don't think it was a very clear explanation. Also, it is a deep subject, actually.
Well, Jazakallah khair for all the questions. We are at least officially out of time, so we will end the session here. The next session starts at 1 o'clock, and it's entitled Tough Love Training Through COVID. So if you're able to join, we would appreciate that. I guess if there wants to, people want to have a discussion, we can stop the recording and you can have a discussion afterwards for those who want to stay. But we will conclude here. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم